So people want to know how you regrow your limbs and your organs and your digits, your extremities, even if you were born without them. Well, obviously, yes, when you allow your body to get deep cellular regeneration from nutrition, and you release the excess and release excess overabundance of your microbiome and the antibodies, you allow deeper cellular regeneration. But the key thing, which I didn't highlight or focus on, which now I am because I understand blood constrictions and blood vessel constrictions and all that, and prostaglandins. The reason why people are not regrowing their limbs and their organs is because they have constricted blood vessels, which is not getting the blood, the precious life-giving blood, to those areas of their body. They have been cut off. They've been deadened. Now, we've talked about that, but there is actual evidence, because when you have constricted blood vessels from, let's say, diabetes, you have diabetes, you have retention of water, constricted blood vessels, and then people are having to get their feet like chopped off or something, or amputated because they have bad circulation. People with Raynaud's disease, it's an autoimmune disorder. When you have bad circulation in your body, the blood is not getting to the necessary parts of your body, of which then why you have cognitive disabilities, because blood isn't getting to parts of your brain. And so, for the life of me, I'm trying to get this point across to people that don't get it. But I have to attack these different angles. And so, even though I said, okay, it's about blood circulation and blood getting to all the vital places, but I have to actually pinpoint, because somebody sent me an email and said, well, how can you prove that the Jilly juice can regrow limbs and organs and regrow limbs and all of that? And I'm like, well, he's like, what's your research? Well, I gave them the whole slew of stuff that I just posted again on my Facebook, as well as in the group and on the two business pages, the Exposing the Lies and the Jilly Juice LLC. But then I'm like, hold on a second, because he's arguing the fact that you can't regrow bones and cartilage, because he tried to send me an email that was going to dispute it, but I didn't read the email. I just read, whatever he wrote initially, and then I said, if you contact me again, I'm gonna, whatever, my little threats, right? He's ignoring it, so whatever, that's fine. But it had me think about blood vessels and blood vessel constrictions, and then bad circulation, and then when people get amputations because they have bad circulation, and it's from underlying pre-existing conditions. Hey, Venice Weeks. So the real true reason why someone could regrow a limb or organ is because they finally are able, they drink the Jilly juice, it releases the prostaglandins. Those prostaglandins dilate all the blood vessels. And how you know they're dilating your blood vessels, the ones that are asleep, because you feel freaking pain. The reason why we have a stagnated human race and stagnated cognitive ability is because when people have pain in their head, because they have neurological issues, they are not allowing those blood vessels to be regrowed, and are not allowing the blood to flow, and they are systematically shutting off their cell regeneration capabilities, which I've said in so many different ways. But let me substantiate even more so. When somebody has bad circulation in their extremities, guess what? Like really bad, there's a point where sometimes people have to have it amputated because it goes gangrene and there's no life. And I'll give you, here's from, slate.com. You can even go Google PubMed if you really need to. But without blood supply, your limbs and extremities become unsalvageable after 6 to 8 hours. In some cases, however, enough blood can flow around the obstruction to extend the deadline. Okay, but at some point, if you don't fix that obstruction of your blood, or fix the vessels, or stop constricting your vessels, guess what? You will have limbs die off if there is a specific issue. And some people are so obese that they constrict their blood vessels. And this is why there are dead parts of people's bodies, and why diabetes and all those different underlying conditions for obesity, or even people who are not obese, have blood circulation issues. Okay. And then potential amputation could be in the future. So when you increase the blood flow to your extremities, even if they're amputated, the potential to regrow your limbs and organs and digits is possible if you're willing to open up and dilate your blood vessels. Okay, and then allow the life-giving blood, to give life to the dead parts, which is your parts of your body. Okay, parts of your body, which is your amputation. Okay, and then let me see, regrow your limbs, organs, if possible, When you increase the blood flow to your extremities, even if they're amputated, the potential to regrow limbs and organs and digits is possible. Okay, so I knew innately when I was writing my initial response to the Ohio Attorney General, when they were asking me, substantiate that you can regrow limbs and organs even if you're born without them. And I said that, hey, if you can regrow your skin, which is your largest organ, then my God, why couldn't it be possible to regrow your limbs and your arms and your extremities and digits, right? And but just, I didn't get straight to the point. And so now this thing with releasing the prostaglandins that dilate your blood vessels, as the pills, powder supplements, and detoxes, and all of those painkillers constrict your blood vessels, constrict the blood supply from flowing to the right areas. This is why humanity has been dumbed down. This is why you have trouble getting through to your friends and family, because too much of the blood supply has been cut off from their brain. And it's not their fault. I mean, it is, it isn't. That's why you can't get mad at people who don't get this. If they continue to undermine you, then you release them from your life. You don't bring them close to you because you don't want to be subjugated to their cognitive disabilities. Okay? So if you give people a chance and you give them this information and they're able to get it because they have enough blood flow to their freaking brain, oh my God, that's amazing. So don't give up on the human race. Don't give up on the human race. Okay, somebody will hear your message. No different than when that guy Legend, or I Am Legend or something, Will Smith, he gets on every single day in the zombie world, and he gets on the CB radio, and he tries to he talks to, says, hey, I'm over here at, coordinate 85352, whatever. I've been here since the fall of society, and anybody out there, come over here. I have food, I have water, I have this, I have that. Okay, I'm the same person. I know I can't reach some people that are right next to me. I know I can't reach people even in over in California, because I know that they're not getting enough blood supply. And I get it, because people that I fear that people that don't really understand my information do have circulation problems. You know why? Because the blood isn't getting to their brain. And no matter how much you try to tell them, but I haven't came from this direction, but even if I did come from this direction of blood constriction and blood flow and circulation, they would still not listen to me, only purely for the fact because my relationship with them. Jillian can't possibly know this because she doesn't have a degree. She's not a doctor. And if the medical industry knows about this, why haven't they told me or us? Hello, you're a customer. You think you're going to tell your customer that your product sucks, that it's killing you? Oh, hell no. Your doctor and your naturopathic and your homeopathic are not going to tell you that their products are actually contributing to your degradation. That would be a conflict of their business model. Okay? So hello, the doctors are not going to tell you this stuff. Oh, but you're not a doctor. You're not a practitioner. You're not licensed. Well, of course not, because I'm not selling any fucking products that is contingent upon you not knowing this. Okay? Contingent upon you knowing it, whatever. I'm not selling anything that's going to put me in a conflict of interest to where I would have to keep something from you. All right. So the doctors are not going to tell you that their prostaglandin inhibitors are constricting your blood vessels, of which then somebody who already, let's say they get their arm cut off in a farming accident. Okay. They're going to whatever, seal it. And then you're going to have blood circulation issues because you're going to feel pain at the end of your extremity where it was amputated. And then you're going to actively take prostaglandin inhibitors to stop the blood flow from there. Because blood flow, when blood gets to the parts of your body that has been deadened, that's the pain sequence. That's the prostaglandin hormone. See, people don't understand that. And so they keep undermining their own ability to heal at the most deepest cellular level ever. And then they plateau in their life. They can only reach a certain point in their life. You know why? Because they have decreased the blood flow. They have stagnated their blood flow because they don't want to feel pain. Because let me tell you, eventually you're going to have to upgrade your body to this current environment. If I were to have taken, a lot of painkillers when I had that 6-day headache, the only thing that I did for 2 days at the peak of my 6-day massive migraine, stabbing pain headache was put peppermint oil and water on a washcloth. And I just put it over my head and put it to the side and maybe wash my face a little bit just to kind of distract me. But I didn't take it internally, and I didn't take pure peppermint oil and put it and burn my head to stop the pain. No, I knew it needed to happen, but I needed to have a little tiny relief, but not so much to where it would stop the upgrade. I knew I had to upgrade. But what people do is they take Tylenol with codeine, or they take morphine, or they take cannabis, or they take all these painkillers, and they actively stop the blood flow. They stop the prostaglandins from being expressed. And that basically stagnates their ability to evolve. That's what the holistic allopathic industry is. They are a de-evolution process. Is their intention to stop evolving you? I don't think they intentionally know that it's devolving you, but we have been taught by the Hippocratic Oath and by, Western medicine and Eastern medicine that pain is not something that people should endure. Well, yeah, if you earn it. Here's the thing. I've been acclimated to this environment. I'm not in pain. The only time I'm in pain is when my body's trying to upgrade to a new environment. That's the only time I'm in pain. And when you guys are doing the Jilly juice, you're going to be in pain too, because you have to now finally get blood flow to the dead parts of your freaking body. So you got to feel pain at some point until you finally acclimate to the environment. And you better hope that there's not another freaking virus out there that you have to get used to. Because not only do you have to get used to the environment of the COVID-19, and then you got to get used to another environment of COVID 2020, if that is even something that's going to be invented in the future. Okay, so blood flow to all of your parts of your body, even the parts that have been dead for a while. The parts that have been dead for a while, getting the blood flow is the pain sequence. I finally got blood flow to parts of my brain to upgrade to this new environment. I was already acclimated and immune to the old environment as far as the flu environment back before COVID-19. As soon as COVID-19 came around, then I had to acclimate to the new environment. And the only thing that needed my help was my brain, or needed help was my brain. It needed to, maybe it created new pathways. Maybe this COVID-19 actually expanded more of my brain. Because they say we only use 20% of our brain. Well, I can see why, because people stagnate their blood flow with taking PGIs, prostaglandin inhibitors. That's in the pills, powder supplements, and detoxes, and prescription drugs, and herbal, and all the different detoxing remedies out there. So what happens if you use 100% of your brain? What the hell could be possible then? When you get blood flow to 100% of your brain, not just 20% or 50%. And so that is the maximum human evolution, when the blood flow is going to every part of your body, not just some parts, but you're seeing the COVID toes. COVID toes is basically Raynaud's disease. It's circulation issues in your extremities. That's, if you don't get those taken care of and figured out, that's when you can lose your toes, because you're not getting blood flow, because you have constricted blood vessels because of your practices listening to the allopathic holistic world. See, that's one of the main things that people have failed to understand with my information, is they don't realize that all their pills, power supplements, and detoxes and everything inhibits the prostaglandin hormones, and then it stops blood flow in the most important areas of their life. And then the body gets anomalous cell replication, and then it turns into cancer and aging. Okay? So when you finally feel, when you have feeling, that's blood flow. And that is actually like adrenaline. That's the O phase. But you got to be careful how much blood flow to certain parts of your body that could also cause more hormonal imbalances. So there's a balance. And the Jilly juice will give you a good balance of where the blood should be flowing to where you don't have to have blood flow to your adrenaline. You don't have to have blood flow to your reproductive area because you don't want to keep, because reproduction comes from imbalances. When you finally are very well balanced, you're not going to want to reproduce because you'll be the best copy. That's exactly my premise of this book coming out in June 2020. People understanding the microbiome, the balance of it, okay, and what it makes, what microbiome is, what life is, what the environment is, and then what sugar and salts and all of that is, and how the Jilly juice comes into play. And I do a little bit on the prostaglandins, okay? I'm not going to tell you, Cindy, on what you should do. Nobody should tell you at all anything what to do as far as how much to take. No, this is not a cure, Cindy. All right, this is not a cure. But yeah, so my book right now will tell you when it comes out in June. It will tell you all the different capacities of J juice. But it doesn't tell you how much. It doesn't tell you how much you should drink because I'm telling you, some people do not understand the healing process. They think that the Jilly juice is a cure, that it's going to do this, and this right now, when, whatever. And I'm telling you, the Jilly juice is a long process that I can't tell you when, how long, or anything. The only thing I can tell you is your healing process is based upon all of your predispositions. And some people have a lot more predispositions than others, and they're not willing to feel pain. And so they're not going to understand Jilly juice at all. Some people use my juice as a cure and they don't get the deep healing because they won't drink enough of it. But I can't tell them how much to drink because I'm not their freaking doctor. If you don't understand Jilly juice at the micro level and the macro level, and you haven't watched my videos, Cindy Lipscomb Toller, you don't watch my videos at all. You want somebody to give you a diagnosis and you want them to give you a remedy. Okay? And so I'm not doing that. And nobody should be giving you any kind of health advice on Facebook. Nobody should. Only your doctor. If you want to get rid of one symptom out of your life, Cindy, go to your doctor and get the blood pressure medication because that's exactly what you're trying to do is you're trying to get rid of one symptom. You realize you have probably 50,000 symptoms and the blood pressure is only one of them. But you think you're going to get your blood pressure down right off the bat? I don't know. I can't tell you that because I don't know how many other predispositions that you have to deal with prior to that. And so if I were to tell you, oh yeah, you just take 1 cup a day or 2 cups a day, and then you have this pie in the sky expectation that Jilly juice is going to cure all of your little problems, then you're treating me like a doctor and you absolutely have no business doing Jilly juice because you have no idea what it actually means. You have no appreciation for it. And most people don't have appreciation for Jilly juice because they want to treat me like their doctor. They want me to be their doctor. They want me to baby step them through the process. They want me to prove to them that Jilly juice can regrow limbs and organs. Let me tell you this. You better watch my information and read my information because I have it all laid out for you, Cindy, but you failed to really watch me closely because you're too busy being an activist. You're too busy being an anti-Gates. You're too busy being an anti-everybody, and you don't even pay attention to my information. You want me to give you the easy way out. Well, that's not going to happen. The new world is for people who are self-sufficient, who know how to read and watch information, who are willing to open up their mind. And I can't give you that. If you don't have that capacity, if you don't already have that capacity to do that, let me tell you, the Jilly juice is not going to give you that capacity because you won't have what it takes to drink it and stay with it. You won't. So the fact that you asked me that question says that you're not a candidate for this Jilly juice. Not at all. Not since I've been on this Facebook and I've been telling you guys exactly what you should do to go through the process. And then your body will determine what's going to be fixed first. And nobody can tell you how much and how little or how whatever. Only your doctor can be the one to disappear your symptoms if that's what you want. But you haven't earned it, but only your doctor can try to do that for you. But I'm telling you, when you look at my posts, I have so much information about how to lower your blood pressure. Oh, but no, you can't read my posts because you're too good for that because you're too busy being an activist. That's what I'm saying. That's who I deal with. Those that are too busy doing other things, but they don't pay attention. And then they want to ask me freaking questions 24/7. Oh my God. They want to private message me. They want to ask me through the Facebook. They want to email me all the questions. They want, hey, prove to me this, and this. Oh, but nobody wants to read my posts. They're too good for that. Oh, they're too good to read my posts because they have much better things to do when they're locked down in their house dealing with COVID-19. No, but it's easier to go and demonize Bill Gates. It's easier to go and demonize the New World Order. That's what's so much more important to some people. Not their own health. Oh no, but it's better to go and tax somebody else and ask them all the questions and make them go over the same information 24/7 over and over and over again until the person wants to go, well, until I put down boundaries. And this is when I do block people because they don't know their boundaries. And I know I'm going off right now only because I've seen Cindy's name plenty of times all over my Facebook. You've liked my stuff, you've commented, but you cherry pick on what it is that you read. And so when someone cherry picks my information, I realize they are not the kind of person I want as far as, doing the J juice, because they will cherry pick what they want. And they'll say, well, I like this part of the J juice, but not this part. I don't like the salt. So I'm going to change the white salt to the pink salt again because I don't agree with the white salt. And that's who I kick out of my group. Those that make declarations that they changed my protocol, they're demonizing the food supply. They're still actively being a political activist in my group, and they're posting bullshit stuff in my group. I kick them out because I'm telling you, when you think about it, Bill Gates is actually probably one of the most strategically amazing people who gets not enough credit. No, he's not a medical doctor. No, Dr. Phil's not a medical doctor. No, I'm not a medical doctor. But we all have something credible to say. However, Dr. Phil caters to the doctors. Bill Gates, he caters to them and then he doesn't because he's not a medical doctor. But vaccines, I would tell you, would be something that would upgrade people if they understood that it releases prostaglandins so you know what's wrong with you. So you know what needs to be fixed. If you get a vaccine, you don't get an adverse reaction, it means that you've already been immune and you've already adapted. You're pretty much fine if you get a vaccine and you get no adverse reactions. But if somebody gets a vaccine and gets an adverse reaction, guess what? They have work to be done. They got to take care of their body with the J juice and upgrade. But at least they didn't freaking die. But if somebody does, they would have died anyways because as soon as they get exposed to that virus in the environment, they would have been dead because they couldn't handle the antibody accumulation. All right. So here's the thing. Every symptom is your body letting you know that it's trying to balance itself out. And so if you think the J juice is just a cure, then you'll only take J juice for one little freaking symptom and you have probably 1,000 more and you won't understand the J juice. So J juice is not a cure. It's not going to give you an expectation right off the bat. I'm telling you, some of you have so many predispositions and you do J juice and you're not going to see what you expect in like maybe 6 months. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. I can't tell you. But I tell people in my group that understand the J juice, when they get the little wins, the little benefits that they see, they need to start recording them and posting them in the group so that way they can remember through their times of their healing process, because it's going to be very uncomfortable. But every single time you feel something, that means your body's trying to heal. There's nothing wrong with high blood pressure. It means you just need to drink some freaking water if you have high blood pressure. But that water isn't the only thing. Now you have to also, unconstrict your blood vessels. Drink the J juice. I can't tell you how long it takes for your body to repair your blood vessels so you don't have and how many prostaglandins need to be released to allow then to stop the anti-diuretic hormone from having you retain water that contributes to your high blood pressure. You're going to have to figure it out for yourself. I can't tell anybody dosages or what to expect. But I expect people to do their fucking research on my page when I have it written out totally word for word for word, word for word. And I have it written several different freaking times in so many different ways. How can you not get what I've just said on my face as far as high blood pressure, Cindy? I don't get it. How many ways should I even say it? Oh my God. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to go off on people because it's like, I just don't understand people. I give them so much information and yet they still want to ask me, how much? When will it stop? How long do I have to go through this healing process? I've been doing this for 4 freaking years. 4 years. And finally I understood prostaglandins and finally understood how blood circulation works. and what stops the blood from circulating. 4 years. Some of you have just started. You haven't even begun to freaking scratch the surface yet. I can't tell you how long. I can't tell you how much. Your healing and your upgrading is based upon how much you freaking take and how much you can handle. So some people can handle a gallon a day. Other people can only do maybe a cup a day. And if you want to be a baby and only do a cup a day, then that's fine. Your healing process will take longer than everybody else's. But then you have to figure out your lifestyle, your predispositions, what your belief systems are. So I have no idea what the hell you're supposed to do. You tell me how much you can do and how long it's going to take you. If you have high blood pressure, you're only doing 1 a day and you still have high blood pressure, then maybe you should do 2 or 3 or 5 or 10. I have no freaking idea. I'm not your freaking doctor. Nobody in my group should tell anybody how much they should take. People can say how much you're taking, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen for you. Okay? So, the possibility to regrow limbs and organs is based upon releasing the prostaglandins, okay? And as well as dilating your blood vessels so blood can go to all different parts of your body. And then guess what? You can actually balance out all your hormones so you don't have all this water retention. When I first started doing this J-Juice and I had my first set of moderators, holy crap, they're like, oh my God, I'm so swollen. Well, they weren't drinking enough water. They didn't say anything about high blood pressure, but they were just swollen. Well, yeah, you need to drink water on the J-Juice. You drink J-Juice, yeah, it's salty, so you need to drink water. And then guess what? When I drank J-Juice, I was kind of bloated yesterday or on Sunday. Well, I ate a bunch of food and I was bloated. And then I drank 2 cups of the J-Juice and I drank 2 cups or 3 or 5 cups of water. Okay? And guess what? I was peeing every 2 hours and then my bloat disappeared. All right? And so, bloating is because you are retaining water because you're not drinking enough water, and the salt is making sure it activates the antidiuretic hormone. And then the reason why people have high blood pressure is because they have constricted their blood vessels by taking all of their medications. You realize all of your medications and every single antibiotic, every single detox, every single supplement you take actually suppresses your prostaglandins and it constricts your blood vessels. And so that's why heart disease is a #1 killer of women, because of their practices, their crunchy mama groups, all of their little detoxes and their anti-vax stances that contribute to taking all of their black seed oil, all of their little oils, and all of their concoctions of antibiotics, and they are actively suppressing and constricting their blood flow, of which why it's very hard to get through to some people out there because they're not getting enough blood to their fucking brain. So I get mad when I have to deal with that kind of person because I know I can't get through and I want to get through. But when someone doesn't have blood flow going to the proper parts of their brain, they're not going to get my information. And it sucks because you see that they have so much potential. You see they can get this, but they don't have enough of what it takes to really, truly get this at the cellular level. They may get it superficially, and that's why they'll go on the J-Juice for a minute and then they'll disappear. They'll be part of the bandwagon. They'll be part of the fad. Many people have dropped off the J-Juice because it wasn't fun anymore. It wasn't faddish anymore. It wasn't in fashion. It wasn't trendy anymore. That's why they got off the J-Juice. Not because they couldn't handle it. Oh, they probably could have handled it, but it wasn't trendy because now they actually had to do the deep healing. They actually had to go do their day-to-day. They had to, go and do whatever they had to do. And it just wasn't part of their world anymore because it wasn't fun. Healing is not fun. It's not a psychedelic. It's not a pleasure thing. It doesn't release a bunch of oxytocin. But when you finally earn your healing, I'm telling you, I was 20 times stronger. When I went through that 6-day freaking headache, and on the 7th day or whatever that day was where I finally just no more headache, I felt like I could conquer the world. And then I came to terms with certain things in my life that I was suppressing. But it was such a deep-rooted suppression that it didn't come to surface until the COVID-19. Like the COVID-19 really uprooted some deep-seated issues that I had to finally deal with. So blood flow. Blood is life. And when you have constricted blood vessels, especially to your amputations, when you have constricted blood vessels to parts of your brain and parts of your extremities, you're going to have You know, you're going to have deadening. You're going to see yourself deaden, you know, in stages. And the more you practice the black seed oil and all the MLM oils and all of the pills, powder supplements, detoxes, and antibiotics, antivirals, antimicrobials, antifungals, antiparasites, all of the MSM, what is it? Mineral solution, miracle mineral solution, all of these holistic homeopathic crap that's out there on the market that's sold by some homeopathic or some health food store, that will constrict your blood vessels and you will eventually have heart attacks and strokes. Because look at what's going on with Willie Nelson. Look at Rick Simpson and all of his practices of the cannabis oil, the miracle cannabis, the Phoenix tears. His blood vessels are constricted. You know why? Look at his face. Look at his body. He's aging. When you're aging, you have deadening of your blood vessels. When people are aging and degrading, their blood vessels. That's why vampires they look young when they drink blood. Not saying you guys should drink blood, but when you finally get blood flow to all of your body, mind, and spirit, guess what? You come back to life. And that is exactly what's going on when people finally do the Jilly juice, because it dilates their blood vessels because of the release of the prostaglandin hormones. And then you finally get blood supply to your brain, the most important, and your heart, and your lungs, and your kidneys, and your liver. So finally, I finally solved that. Yeah. The regrowing of the arms and the limbs and the organs is about blood flow and blood vessel dilation and the Jilly juice. And so, yeah, I go off on people because I want Cindy to get this. I don't want her asking me how much she should take. No one should tell her how much she should take. That's up to her to decide how much she can handle and her understanding of the Jilly juice and what it means. If you don't get enough nutrition, let's say this, since you're not healed and sealed yet, Cindy, then I can't tell you how much you should take. Right now, I don't have to drink a lot because I'm pretty much healed and sealed, and I can actually maximize my intake of the minerals and nutrients from the food supply. And my body's able to release the excess and absorb what it needs. And if I need an extra push because of whatever, I'll drink the Jilly juice. But I don't drink it very often. I don't do waterfalls every day. I don't need to. If I feel like I've eaten food and it's stopping me up for whatever reason because of hormonal imbalances due to, like, let's say my period or the environment's fluctuating and I have to go and adapt to it, then I'll take some Jilly juice to then recalibrate myself to that environment. And then I will be able to adjust accordingly. But those of you who are just starting J juice, you need as much as you can take, as much as you can handle. And I'm telling you, 1 cup ain't going to do it per day. 1 cup is not. Yeah, because then you're going to get constipation. And then, oh my God. And if you don't get constipation, you get, waterfalls. That's great. But I'm telling you, your body needs more than just 1 cup of that nutrition. You got a whole host of issues going on. But I can't tell you how much. But if you're taking 1 cup a day or 1 teaspoon a day, and you've been doing that for the last 2 years, you're going to have the worst time in healing. And you're just teasing yourself, especially when this environment is becoming more and more and more aggressive. Okay. And so, yeah, I get kind of pissy when people ask me questions, especially when it says, how much should I drink a day to lower my blood pressure? You do not ask those kind of questions. I am not your doctor. If you want to lower your blood pressure, call your doctor, have him prescribe you a drug. If you want someone to manage your symptoms. Jilly juice does not manage anybody's symptoms. We reverse things at the micro level to the macro level. And yeah, you have to feel pain and discomfort. And that's pretty much it. At some point, you will earn no high blood pressure. At some point, you will earn no pain in whatever extremities. At some point, if you happen to be an amputee and you allow blood flow to the extremity, you might actually see your arm regrow. But you would have to overcome and deal with that pain over a long period of time. Because imagine a person getting blood flow to the end of their stump. And they have to deal with, I went through 6 days of excruciating pain in my head. Imagine someone with an actual amputation. How much pain they'd have to be in to regrow that whole leg or regrow their whole arm. I would love for someone who has an amputation in their finger, take this on. But their body might have to deal with other things that take precedence before it gets to their finger. And then eventually, at some point, maybe 5 years down the road, relative to their predispositions, then the body will then deal with their amputated digit. So imagine someone with an arm and a leg that's completely cut off and they do the Jilly juice, how long they would be in pain for. And it would be a long-term process, of which some people don't even have the capacity to even read my stuff on a daily level. You know, would they be able to handle 10 years of regrowing an arm or a leg, or 5 years? I don't know how long it would take for someone to do that. But they would be in pain the whole time because they would have to be. As soon as you take a painkiller, you stop the circulation process. You would stop the prostaglandins from actually being expressed to actually heal and regenerate at the cellular level, to where the muscles, the bones, the tendons, the vessels, the tissue, the fat, all would have to be regrown. And I don't know how a person could handle it. It would be, you know, like 2 steps forward, 10 steps back, 10 steps forward, maybe 7 steps back, because you still have to do your daily life too and deal with the pain. You'd have to have very special circumstances to where you had as much time as you could and you had unlimited money, so that way you didn't have to work. You didn't have to do anything except heal and regrow that leg. How many people have that kind of flexibility, as well as have that kind of capacity to do that? Not many. So it'd be very hard for me to prove it. However, I can prove it scientifically as far as blood circulation. Now, as far as physically in the world, I would love for someone to take it on. Maybe they're doing it right now and they're in the middle of it. Okay, so, yeah. Anyways, you guys, just, so Cindy, I hope you didn't take me totally, like, you know, offended, but I'm going to tell you, you know, when people ask me those kind of questions about how much they should drink as far as a symptom, I come unglued. I am not anybody's doctor. I am not. I would rather chase somebody off the protocol that wants me to deal with their symptoms than take them on and deal with them not understanding the protocol. Because as soon as they get something like, let's say they get some kind of healing process in their vital organs and they don't understand Jilly juice, they will blame me for all of their issues. And I'm not going to have anybody blame me if they don't even know what's going on. And nobody should be taking on Jilly juice without properly knowing what their whole process is. No one should be doing Jilly juice without knowing how much you're willing to do, how much you're willing to take, and why. And that's, no one should be doing J juice if they don't understand it. Nobody should. And that's why there are fads out there. People who do it as a fad because they want me to be their doctor. And so will Cindy last on this? I don't know. If she asks those kind of questions of how much you take for lower her blood pressure, she'll be one of those that'll be on it for a minute and then she'll disappear, because she won't get the results that she's looking for, because she's looking for a allopathic holistic outcome, not an actual Jilly juice outcome. Okay, so you'll know who understand my information by just the kind of questions they ask. That's why nobody asks questions in my group, so I don't have to kick them out. They stay silent and they watch long enough, they realize, oh yeah, this is a personal journey for everybody. We can't tell anybody what to expect. People can tell us what they're experiencing without mischaracterizing, but we can't tell anybody what to expect. Have a good day. Good luck, everybody. You're going to need it.